especially that Merseyside derby. You got Everton playing Liverpool. It's at 7:30 a.m. I got to be at work at 9, so your boy's definitely about to be late. And you also have Man City versus Arsenal. And so you've got some really good, juicy games this weekend because I think Everton is on the up. Obviously, they're top of the league right now. But, I mean, it's 4 games in. So, like, that to me doesn't mean anything.
I mean,
and then you got Arsenal who they look like they're doing some good things, man. They've won 3 out of their four first games. They lost to us, of course. But that's a team that I see on the up. You also got your Tottenhams and teams like that. But these 2 games I want us to touch a little bit on. So I kind of want your thoughts on that.
I mean, Tottenham's not going to win no silverware this year. They never win silverware. They never win silverware. I just don't understand. Like, how can you never win a trophy, like, year in and year out? And you pump so much money into this club. Like, that's just the one thing that really, like, blows my mind. But I'm not going to lie. It's only, like, a couple games into the season. But this is the first time Everton's been, like, first in the league since I can remember.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, like, it stinks because this would be a great Merseyside derby. Sorry, yeah. I butchered that word. But because the fans, I feel like if you had the fans there, the teams right now are great. You know, usually in the past it's been obviously Liverpool's gonna like.
It's kind of like in the '80s when it was like that's when Everton kind of bagged a couple of trophies. Liverpool was on the up, so they were kind of challenging for 1 and 2, and then they kind of dipped in form. We won a couple more, and then we kind of went obscure for a good 30 years where we won like big titles on and off. But yeah.
I'm kind of excited. Like you said, I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill, but Everton's in first, Aston Villa's sitting number 2, Leicester City's number 3.
7-2.
4 games in.
7-2.
Yes, but how crazy would it be if Everton ties Liverpool? Man, what would that say about the team that Everton has? Right?
I mean,
I want to see that.
I mean, bro, you went from... I'd be kind of scared if I was Liverpool. I got thrashed by a team that celebrated not getting relegated last year. Getting thrashed 7... Was it 7-2?
7-2. But honestly...
Like... I would really be scared. Like,
if I wanted to lose 7-2, this would be the best time. 4th game into the season. Because you know what? This is when Klopp can say, okay, show us why you're really champions, right? And all those players, you know, they're all waiting for this game because they know like everybody is watching them. And so I think the difference between Everton and Liverpool is that Everton has Liverpool has consistency behind them. Yeah. They've played title-winning football. Everton, there are 4 games where they've won and everybody's hyping them up. So there's a big difference there. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't understand the pressure of being on top and consistently being on top. Plus, they just came back from an international break, right? Like, you've got their best players are what? James, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Decore, all these guys. And James and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are coming back. James is coming from Colombia. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's coming back with the England squad. So, like, our players, I feel like, are more adapt to, okay, coming back from international tournament, let's get game time again, boom, England League. You know, which I don't know, like, I haven't seen Everton enough to say, okay, these guys have the mentality to go from playing internationally to going back into the Prem, because most of the time you kind of see that lag after the international tournament. So I want to see what they do, because I love when people hype teams up like this, and then when we smash them 3-0 this weekend, it's going to be amazing.
Hang on, I want to rewind. Did that man really just say, if we ever wanted to lose 7-2, this was the time?
Yeah.
7-2, bro. I can't remember the last time Newcastle got beat 7-2, bro.
I can't remember the last time Newcastle won a title.
Bro, I lose 5 there.
Or a Champions League.
But we still got the dignity of not losing 7-2 to a team that almost got relegated last year.
Bro,
which trophy cabinet does that dignity go into?
Bro, I go down like I go down by 1 or 2 points in FIFA, and I'm turning that thing off, man. Bro, like.
Yeah, but like this is kind of a weird season.
Big rage quit.
Man City got slapped 5-2. Man U got slapped 6-1.
It's so weird. Like it's like a.
So it's not like, okay, this is a Liverpool thing. This is like a whole league thing.
But that's what I'm saying though. So like such weird things are already happening. Why let it stop now? You know what? What if Everton does come out on top? 2-0. You know what I'm saying? How wild would that be?
Don't get me wrong.
I'm here
they
for
have a
it.
shot of winning, but I think people are looking at it like, yo, like this team is about to like do something. I don't think it's like that.
Oh, no. They're not. No one's saying they're gonna,
win the title.
No,
But it's just hard not at this point. It's really hard not to like have any type of like
you love an underdog.
like
do.
a goal for them in mind, just because this is the best season that they've started off with. And granted, like you said, it's only 4 games in, but I mean they're undefeated so far. So I mean it's
4 games in.
Yeah, but I mean still 4 games in.
Crystal Palace was 4th, 12 games in last season. Where did they end up?
They got Eberici Eze this year, my guy. So they might finish top 8.
And you got to think. I mean, honestly, I'd love to see. Who's the manager of Everton? His name slips.
Ancelotti.
Yeah. I'd love to see what he has planned, because you mentioned Arsenal, how they look like they're on the up, like they're making moves.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jump the gun, but I am hopeful that maybe Everton is making moves in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they are. I mean, they're signing good players. They have a world-class coach. They've got a world-class player in James, if he could stay fit.
If.
And that's a big if. And I just the thing that I think when it comes to soccer, when it comes to management, is like very fine margins, right? Like, because Mikel Arteta won the FA Cup, there's a positivity around the club. Like, okay, this coach can bring in trophies, right? And that's like a good seed that other players that you can use. Versus now, if you look at Lampard, he is under some heavy pressure because he's played 2 finals and lost them both, and his team isn't up to par with the signings that they have. So those are really fine margins in soccer, which you start doubting these coaches. You start saying, okay, like, is Frank Lampard really the guy to coach the superstars, right?
Okay, hang on. They beat a Chelsea team who played 3 matches in 7 days. Arsenal injured Pulisic and Azpilicueta in the first half. Like,
dude,
come on, man. You.
Are you talking about the FA Cup final?
Yeah, the FA Cup final,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
okay, but
it's a weekend, and it's a hurt Chelsea team. 3 matches in a week. Like, okay, calm down now.
I mean, but at the same time, it's like these major signings that you've made, they have no Premier League experience.
right.
they have.
So they have to, and I mean, I'm not gonna say they're gonna be terrible at all. Like Warner and Havertz are clash, but coming to the EPL, even Havertz said it himself.
Yeah.
Like, this is a different ball game. Like, and I'm not saying they're not going to be good, but it's the players that Lampard was pulling from, and he had. They had English playing experience at least. Mason Mount playing in the Championship. The Championship is one of the most physical leagues in the world. I'd even say almost more physical than the Premier League.
I would agree,
because these people are going for the top. That's their last
in the Championship,
chance.
there's like less talent too. Like, it's more like work ethic.
Exactly.
More of your Milners.
Challenges like left and right.
Of course, and no one's saying they're coming into a new environment, but I feel like if anyone's going to help them adapt, it's going to be Frank Lampard, a midfielder who played in one of the physicalist, in my opinion, one of the physicalist eras of the EPL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like,
No VAR.
bro, right?
No VAR.
VAR did not exist, bro. Like, you can't get away with some of the stuff you did back then.
Yeah.
So I feel like if anyone's going to help him, or help these younger guys adapt, and don't forget, we brought in the goalkeeper Mendy too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be Lampard.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, I'm just giving perspective on, like, the fine margins in soccer, right? Because if you start getting, like, even with Kepa, like, it was, okay, one error, then, like, they started criticizing it, then they continued, and I feel like that mentally gets to you, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. Kepa, if anything was from outside of the box, Kepa's not stopping it. There's a reason why I imagine they tried to get so many bodies in front of the ball. Like, and it stinks because you're right. Like, you make one error, but that's just the life of goalkeeping.
Yeah.
Period. And, at the end of the...
Yeah. So say Frank can't get this team in the top 4 the first season, and or say we're halfway through the season and then they're 8th and 9th, like, he's going to get criticized heavily.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
So, like, there's that added pressure. You brought in all these stars, but, like, okay, like, now we got to see if you're a really good coach. Because last season we're like, okay, like, he got top 4 with no signings and bringing up youth players and players from the championship, and you're like, okay, like, what can he do now with stars? Like, now you question, like, I think that's like a soccer thing. You question things all the time. Like, even like Jurgen Klopp is getting questioned now as a coach. And I'm like, come on, yo. Like, he's playing a high line. He's trying something different. Like, relax. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is still early in the season as well.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, but I'm not going to lie, like, Frank Lampard, last year I feel like he excelled not only because, the signings that he did, not no signings, but the players that he was able to pull up, they had good loan experience, not only that, but, the most important thing that a lot of managers come under scrutiny for is, like, no results, no pressure, and he literally had no pressure.
Yeah.
Like, so at that same time, he was able to play a lot more relaxed, I feel like.
Yeah. And
then opposed to now, like, you make all these massive signings, there's going to be a lot more added pressure opposed to last season.
Yeah.
So I feel like he can't play, like, as free-flowing as before.
Yeah.
And by free-flowing, I'm just saying, like, without, like a burden on his back, basically.
That's such a double-edged sword, right? Like, okay, like, no one was expecting anything from you last season, and you did something. Now that you have good players, you better produce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about, like, the Arsenal-Man City game? Who do you see winning that?
I'll let you go first, bro.
I got to go Arsenal. It's nice because it's like Guardiola Senior versus Guardiola Junior. Father versus son. Exactly. We're about to see who ultimately, and it's crazy because after Arteta left, like, I'm not going to say, obviously, like, Arteta was this mastermind that somehow, like, produced all these results. I was 100% Pep. But if you notice, after Arteta left, like, something left Manchester City.
Yeah.
And I feel
Did you see, like, when he was talking to, like, the bench by himself? Did you ever see that? Like, Guardiola's, like, going like this. I was like, yo, this man lost his best boy.
They grow up too fast.
That was the funniest thing. I was like, who's he talking to right now?
I gotta find the clip for that.
Oh, man, yeah. What do you think, Andrew?
I mean, like we just finished saying, I think Pep is under a lot of scrutiny. Like we said, it's that double-edged sword. Yeah, he's accomplished a lot, but soccer is a very present-minded sport, I think. And I think you hit it right on the nail. You know, past accomplishments, Jurgen Klopp, after all he's achieved, still under the under the microscope, every little thing, every scrutiny.
Which I'd rather have it like that than us be irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's 100%
Liverpool was
true.
irrelevant till about 2013, 2014. 2015 when Klopp started taking it, and like, oh, okay, they're getting into Champions Leagues. Oh, okay, like,
they're
now
a force.
the team is okay. Now we're top dog again. Mm-hmm. So